So, once again, welcome to the VO Boss Audition Demolition Law with me.
So excited to
Holiday,
be here.
holiday
Holiday
edition.
season.
Yoo-hoo.
Yay. End of
Absolutely.
23. Couldn't be a better timing, Annie. So
Yeah.
excited to be here.
Yeah. I mean, gosh, Law, this is is it our third one? Third one, fourth one?
I think fourth one, actually.
Wow.
I
So,
think fourth one.
yeah. And I really, really I love doing these things because I really believe that they're valuable for everyone involved. Because not only do you get the written feedback, but also there's kind of that suspense because you don't know if you're called back or not until the live show. And we do stream it live for other people to watch. And so, no pressure, guys, no pressure. And so you will not know if you've made the short list until we call you. And so Law and I have diligently gone through all of the entries and selected a short list. Now, this holiday edition, let me just pull up my scripts. If you recall the scripts, everyone, and where are my scripts? I have like multiple windows here. Here we go. Uh, Multiple scripts. What we're selecting between two of them, two commercial scripts. One was Target Television, which was the 60-second, and the other one was the Keebler Elf. And so we had 60-second commercials. One was radio. Actually, were they both radio? One was TV and the other was radio. So we asked that you slate it at the end and make sure that you named your files appropriately. As a matter of fact, the submission process doesn't really allow you to misname your files. However, Laura and I know, and we've gone over this before with you guys, that it is very important for you to name your files appropriately so that they get listened to. And as being in casting and Law, every single day being in casting, it's important that we're able to access your files quickly and that we are able to really hear your best stuff right out of the gate. And so, without further ado, Law, unless you have something that you would like to say, I would like to announce the shortlisted people. And as is in the nature of, things being unpredictable, we are not going to have you read the same script again if you are called. You are going to read the other script that was in the pile. So if you read the Keebler Elf, you're going to be doing the Target. If you read the Target, you're going to be doing the Keebler Elf. Okay. And even though they're different brands, and I think Law, you can verify this, if obviously if this were a real audition, you might get completely different copy. Typically with the same brand if you're being called back. But for the purposes of education, we are going to give you completely different copy, even though they're different brands, because you're still going to get the educational value there. And a lot of times, one of the reasons why they'll do that, and Law, correct me if I'm wrong, a lot of times, the copy is kind of could be under NDA. It could be, they don't want you to be, talking about this with anybody else or giving up any company secrets. And that is why when you get called back, they will give you the real script or maybe not even the real script. So they will audition you with one script and then you will have a completely different script. Law, comments?
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Or, as I've seen several times this year, they change their mind and they either lose a role and they like your
Mhm.
voice and they want you for something else.
Yeah,
So, like anything is the name of the game. We have to be ready for anything. I love it.
there you go. All right, so we're going to begin with the short list, and I'm not going to read them all out loud at once. We're going to do them one at a time so that you're not going to really be prepared. Now, hopefully, all of you guys, you have. Oh, and I want to turn the chat on in case you guys have any questions. Let's see, where is that chat? Hello, chat. There we go. There's the chat. Okay, fantastic. So I'm going to read the short list for the Keebler at first. And so for those of you, you should have your scripts up. If you don't have your scripts, I do have a link to the Dropbox paper here. And by the way, let me just throw that into the chat box here. So in case you need to access those scripts again on the Dropbox, it might ask you to sign in. If it asks you to sign in, if you're in a different browser and it doesn't remember who you are, you will have to sign in with your Dropbox account. It is free. And so you probably had to sign in order to actually see it in the first place. So don't worry if it's like there's some security box that pops up. You can actually look for that little thing that says to sign in because you probably already have a Dropbox account that was free. So there's where your scripts are. So hopefully you guys will do that. And so the first shortlist person that we have for the Keebler script, who is now going to read, okay, and I'm trying to talk to you a lot so you have a chance to open up those scripts and get a little bit familiar if you didn't look at the other script. You're going to be reading the target script. And the target script, see, look how I'm giving you more time. So the target script, hold on a minute while I get to the target script window. The target script. Yeah, target script here. Specs are any gender, age range is 30 to 50 years old. The voice characteristics are a comforting, approachable, warm voice that can infuse a lighthearted and gradually bemused tone. Must be able to subtly express frustration and relief in a comedic way, or, versatile in altering pace and intensity as per script's demand. Ability to effectively engage the listener and make the copy sound natural, relatable, and compelling. Any comments on that, on those specs there, Law, that we need to be thinking about? Okay.
No, I think it's straightforward. Now, of
Mhm.
course, we can ask questions along the way, but use your interpretation, use those powers of your interpretation. It's going to mean something a little bit different for everyone, right?
Mhm.
No right or wrong. It's really having a very strong actor choice with whatever you interpret it to be.
Absolutely. All right. Our first short list is, drumroll please, Tyler Smith. Tyler, are you here?
I am.
All right.
Hello, hello.
Hello, Tyler. So Tyler, you're going to be reading you're going to be reading the target script.
All right.
And so when you are ready, and Law and I will be taking notes feverishly. So yeah, whenever you're ready, please.
All right. The holiday season has arrived, and Target is here to save the day for each and every family member. In need of some festive home decor, last minute presents, or even a mouth-watering roast, we've got your back. And hey, when the extended family comes over, Target's got what you need most. A big, spacious parking lot that you can come just sit in for a spell. With over 300 beautiful spots as far as the eye can see, it's the perfect place to stare out, bang your head against the steering wheel, or text a friend. I honestly just can't with them today. Looking to drain the hours? Head on in. Scroll down the clothing aisle or make yourself at home in our toy section for a quick laydown. Here's a top tip. Check out the Play-Doh. Crack open the blue one and voila! A hidden flask just for you. Ha ha! Bottoms up, my friend. You've earned it. So, this holiday, tell the fam you're gonna grab something from Target real quick, come kick it, and then go home and tell them they didn't have it. No worries. Your secret's safe with us. Target. Buy yourself some time.
Awesome. Law, would you like to start?
Sure, I would love to start. Tyler, I know you, right?
You do. Hi, Law.
We work together in Dallas, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh yeah, I love it because I love familiarity. That's one thing that is like number one teaching moment here is like get to know your agents, your casting, your producers as much as you can, as many as you can. Stay connected because familiarity breeds work. It always breeds work. Like I already know Tyler, like I know Tyler's work. Now Tyler has grown since I have last seen and heard Tyler. And that's really exciting because I do remember from last August to now, it isn't that far away. So people will remember your work, at least I do. So, great. I love the quality of your voice because you have a lot of energy, you have a lot of crispness, a lot of instant articulation, which I really like a lot. I really appreciate a lot. I have a quick question for you though. Who do you define yourself to be in this? In context, who do you define yourself to be?
I was the sarcastic like brother-in-law that just needed to get away from the holiday for a moment.
Okay, good. So this is really interesting. One of the tips I'm going to give you and everyone in the room is here's one tip you can do. You don't have to do it. It's just one tool you can grab. Don't read the specs. Don't read any description about what you're doing. Simply take the script itself and interpret it for yourself. And do a
Mhm.
couple takes on that. And once you've done that, go back and look at your specs and see what you've authentically come out with versus what you're trying to do and who you're trying to please and what you're trying to prove, which can instantly become boxy because we're
Right.
not coming from the right objective, which is authentically, my family sucks and I got to spend Christmas with them. Oh, right. So if I mean, that's at least how the script is written, right?
Right.
So even though you've got the friendly tied up, you've got the beautiful smile and teeth tied up, and you've got the Tyler energy tied up, you don't have tied up the personalization yet of at the beginning having that bitiness right underneath all the smarmy warmth. This is the quintessential Chevy Chase read. If you remember Chevy Chase in early SNL days, it's, golf course martini, perfect husband, but I don't want to give them any money this Christmas. Right?
Right.
So I'd love to hear the beginning of that again. And where does your transition happen? Where does the beat change happen? And a lot of folks in the room, if not everyone in the room, missed a major beat change going from whatever to we have a parking lot for you. We have a steering wheel for you to bash your head on. And we have, whatever. That's incredibly smarmy and facetious,
Right.
right? It's
Mhm.
like answering the age-old question, like, what do I do if I don't own a gun? We have a parking lot for you. So there's got to be that transition into that. For most of the folks in the room, it's become very reedy. It's not reedy. It's very much about like, I'm about to kill someone, but instead I'll go to the 300 spaces,
Right.
right? So take it back for me to the beginning. And I just want to hear that right underneath that you're talking to who about this?
The brother-in-law that just kind of doesn't fit in, ready to get out of there for
That.
a bit.
Who is that?
That's me. I'm talking to me in this for a moment.
That's hard though. The choice you're making is realistic, but it's hard to do as an actor. Even if you're in the mirror, it's hard to talk to yourself authentically. It really is. So
Right.
I would suggest you make an easier choice. Oh, Anne, go ahead, please.
Yeah, no. I just wanted before you went ahead and did that again. I just wanted to add a couple of comments on back of Laws there. Yeah, everything Law said was like absolutely, I agree with that, and I think that Law, when you talked about the majority of people who read the script, and there was a lot of people that read the script because it's a fun script. Um, I think in the beginning it became like you didn't really establish, you didn't really a lot of people really need to like look at the whole story as a picture and then step back and say, where am I at the beginning of this? And there's a few questions that you ask, in the beginning, which if you're not careful with them, will start to sound reedy. Like I just read the questions to you, looking for this, and it's a very predictable read. So really try to set yourself in that scene. And as Law was saying, like, look, you're talking to someone who's like, look, we've got parking lot. We've got a parking lot where you can come. It's like a refuge. So make sure when you ask the questions as if you're really having that conversation with with someone. And then also, we've got your back. I wanted to feel more secure in that. We've got your back. Like assure me that that we can just go to that. We can just go to that parking and we can sit in for a spell. I had a number of people sit in for a spell. Like people are not used to that phrase. And when you're not used to a phrase like that, my recommendation is to, sit in for a while or sit in for a quick spell or sit in for, a little bit. So like in your head, just replace that word for a spell with something that's more familiar to you and then use that kind of melody because that will make it sound not as awkward. Because sometimes people will sit in for a spell or they would overly like enunciate the word spell and it kind of didn't come off natural sounding. I just wanted to make mention that there were a lot of people who had an issue with that. And then of course, you know, I liked your bottoms up. You relaxed into it towards the last half of the read. And I really felt like that was great. So, and of course, you are the very first person to go. So guys, now that we're going to be directing people on this read, right? And then on the Keebler read, as we continue to call out people, you're going to gain the advantage of us directing, right? The person before you or the people before you. And just know that typically in a callback, you don't get that privilege. You don't get that luxury. And all of a sudden I'm echoing. Not sure why I'm echoing. Do you guys hear that? Okay.
Yeah.
No more. Okay. So yeah, but just, you know, build on what we're saying and everybody give Tyler a huge round of applause for being the first person because that, you know, that's a lot. Okay. So now, yes, please. Let's hear that again.
Okay, top to bottom.
Yes, I would like it.
The holiday season has arrived, and Target is here to save the day for each and every family member. In need of some home festive decor, last-minute presents, or even a mouth-watering roast? We've got your back. And hey, when the extended family comes over, Target's got what you need most. A big, spacious parking lot that you can just come sit in for a while. With over 300 beautiful spots as far as the eye can see, it's the perfect place to stare out, bang your head against the steering wheel, and text a friend. I honestly just can't with them today. Looking to drain the hours? Head on in. Stroll down the clothing aisles or make yourself at home in our toy section for a quick lie down. Here's a top tip. Check out the Play-Doh. Crack open the blue one and voila. A hidden flask just for you. Ha ha! Bottoms up, my friend. You've earned it. So, this holiday, tell the fam you're gonna go grab something from Target real quick. Come kick it, then go home and tell them they didn't have it. No worries. Your secret's safe with us. Target. Buy yourself some time.
So, Annie, can I make a few more comments? Okay, so a couple things, Tyler. I'm feeling like, you know, this was an SNL script, right? I mean, it was. So if you're familiar with an SNL, you may be trying to mimic the style, you may not be trying to mimic the style, but the idea is that right now I'm hearing, I love your style. Like you naturalistically have style. I just feel like it's what we call mono-patterned. So it's literally similar delivery on every thought. That's what I'm hearing. It's not monotone, it's mono-patterned. So literally the sound is the same on each one. And I'd like you to break it up a little. Like, can you just go to the parking lot place? Because that, to me, that's the most prolific place in this script, is going from, you know, the nice guy to talking about all this stuff in the parking lot, right? And vary your rate and vary your pace. You don't need punctuation at the end of every sentence. You don't need to stop at the every, you know, that could be a run on into a really major build for you. So see where you can take that parking lot, steering wheel. What's the third piece you do?
And hey, when the extended family comes over, Target's got what you need most. A big, spacious parking lot that you can just come sit in for a while.
Okay, hold on. What's the emphasis in your first line that brings us the logic as to how you're going to deliver the build? What's the emphasis word in your first line? In other words, this is how the SNL joke writers wrote it to establish why I'm going to like blow my brains out in the parking lot. Why?
Yeah.
First line. Look at that.
They need the lot.
Extended.
Okay.
Right? Mother-in-law, father-in-law, sister-in-law, brother-in-laws you can't stand. Everyone who has a comment to you about everything. Right? That's really pushing you over the edge. Extended family. Well, then we're pulling out the 300 spaces for you.
Right.
Go back. So this is, you guys, and you're doing a great job, Tyler. I don't mean to, you know, you're the sacrificial lamb tonight, but I want to teach everyone in terms of actor values. This is why Ann and I talk a lot about taking acting classes, being in improv, being in sketch comedy, doing all of this, because the timing element is connected to the language of it. So the comic builds are built right in to the, it's like Shakespeare. If you know Shakespeare and pay attention to the language, It tells you the rhythm. It tells you the speed. It tells you the pacing. You don't have to guess at it. This is excellent comic writing. It tells you. So go right into like, all right, we're going to pull out the big guns because you're extended.
Okay.
And just let me just clarify when I said sit in for sit for a while. Like I don't actually mean replace it with those words because typically you're going to have to use the words that they wrote in the script. So, but replace like take that thought and that melody, and then you just replace it with the words. So you say sit in for a spell instead of sit in for a spell, right? Sit in for a spell. Like so, spell is almost like a while.
And you throw it away, kind of just something I've said 1,000 times.
Absolutely.
And hey, when the extended family comes over, Target's got what you need most. A big, spacious parking lot you can just come sit in for a spell.
Okay, one more time. That was did everyone hear that? It was 1,000,000 times more prolific. And then on top of that, I want you to grit your teeth at the end of it, right? It's spacious.
Okay.
You never have to go home. Talk right through your teeth. Fuck all of you. Very Chevy Chase. It's very early Chevy Chase. It's fun. It's like grit and bear it, right? Do it again.
And hey, when the extended family comes over, Target's got what you need most. A big, spacious parking lot you can just sit in for a spell. With over 300 beautiful spots as far as the eye can see, it's a perfect place to just stare out, bang your head against the steering wheel, or text a friend. I just can't with them today.
Good. So what I'm thinking of, and you're doing a really great job, is I'm thinking one of the most amazing early Chevy Chase films in Lampoon was Vacation, the original Vacation, when he would meet all those people that would drive him nuts. Like, I'm not giving you any more money. I'm just not, right? It's like you got to drive yourself to that place because you have very high energy. Then you can dial it back a little. You can dial it back a little because you have no problem with high energy. Right now, you're not there yet. You're not at what I call high stakes read. So this is comedy, but it's a high stakes read. This is like the worst time of the year for most people to have to sit down with their family. So I think you're going to go there, Tyler, but that's what I would be listening for is like, yeah, it's jokey and it's funny, but like you might really kill someone. You might. You just might. So there has to be the realness in there. And the other section, I don't know if you guys got this, but dial it in or whatever you say. I forget what the language is, but come on in, lay around and
the quick lay down. The quick lay down. You got to hit the comedy on that one. You know what I mean? Because lay down is not a typical word, but it's like, come on in for a quick lay down. And if you were to like maybe, you know what I mean, just like accentuate that a little bit more, then people it would say lay down. Oh, that's kind of funny, right? So I feel like you're calling attention to it, but not like in an overly dramatic way. But you don't just brush past it either. So yeah.
No, and that build is really hilarious. That's a Lampoon build of like get drunk. Don't buy them any shit. Get drunk, even get laid in the kids department. It'll be fun. I'll keep your secret. Don't worry about it.
Well, I was thinking a nap law. Like
it's ruthless. You know what I mean?
Well, that was a nap. That was a nap. Not
all right.
Okay.
All right. We'll pretend it's a nap. Okay.
This is a PG. No, I'm just kidding.
Anyway, really nice work, Tyler. Really nice.
Yes, thank you, Tyler.
Point out some of the beats. Very nice overall.
Yes.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right. Thank you, Law, for that. All right. See, Law's her own comedy special right now. I'm just saying. All right. Our next shortlisted contestant is Melanie. And it's Melanie. Is it Lingenfelter? Forgive me if I'm not pronouncing that correctly.
It is Lingenfelter, but that's why I go by Mel Rose. It's just
Mel Rose. There you go.
For everyone.
Well, I had to take the name from the actual audition. So Mel Rose.
No, you did great.
Thank you.
Thanks for doing this.
Yes, absolutely. We are ready. We are ready for Target when you are.
Okay. The holiday season has arrived, and Target is here to save the day for each and every family member. In need of some festive home decor, last-minute presents, or even a mouth-watering roast, we've got your back. And hey, when the extended family comes over, Target's got what you need most. A big, spacious parking lot you can just come sit in for a spell. With over 300 beautiful spots as far as the eye can see, it's the perfect place to stare out and bang your head on the steering wheel or text a friend. I honestly just can't with them today. Looking to drain the hours? Head on in, stroll down the clothing aisles, or make yourself at home in our toy section for a quick laydown. Here's a top tip. Check out the Play-Doh. Crack open the blue one and voila, a hidden flask just for you. Bottoms up, my friend. You've earned it. So, this holiday, tell the fam you're gonna go grab something from Target real quick, come kick it, and then go home and tell them they didn't have it. No worries. Your secret's safe with us. Target. Buy yourself some time.
All right. Thank you. So I'll just start. I will be quick. Thank you for that, Melanie. So I'm gonna say for the most part overall, first of all, I love your voice. You have like just the cutest voice that I think fits this spot. And fits the holiday spots too. And so I like the warmth and the smile. I feel as though your storytelling was a little bit consistent throughout. So like as La was mentioning before, in terms of rhythm, like in pacing, like allow the story to kind of, like just flow and then bring it back a little bit. And then, so the pacing and the rhythm will keep us on our toes. So it doesn't become something that is expected or predictable. And even your loudness. So not even just like you're in the same point of view, right? So it was anticipated and predicted. So maybe once in a while you could be like, oh, and here's an aside. You know what I mean? Because again, it's a very intimate conversation that you're having with us. So it could be, oh, for a quick lay down, or whatever. I mean, however you interpret that or however, because I want that to be varied. So I'm like, it sounds the same. It sounds the same. What else? Let's see. I liked your I honestly can't with them today. I always like people's expressions on that because like I feel like you're feeling that frustration, which is great. And even if you decided not to get like clenchy on that, you could, pick another emotion that would be just as effective. Like maybe, just can't with them. Like, or, could just whatever. It could just be something that's like a completely different, pitch or whatever, or maybe a variation on the frustration, right? A different emotion, but still it hits home with that. That's what I've got. Law?
I love that. And the asides are juicy. You got to use the sides. I think that this kind of script really calls for it and makes it easy for you too. So you don't have to work quite so hard throughout. There are hills and valleys where you move forward, but you also pull it back. You move forward, you pull it back, because I feel like at times, Mel, you're pushing the projection, you're pushing the sound, and you're so powerful as a character actress. I think less is more for you in that way. So keep the diaphragm expanding, keep using your body, which you're doing really well. There's a couple points I have for you too. I thought of Bad Santa. You sound like you're Bad Elfie. With a little Santa's wife mixed in, right? A little Hillary Clinton mixed in, like the voice behind the man. I love that. Speed is going to be your best friend, though. I think you're laying back, you're hanging back, you're juicing it too much. I think you got to move it forward. Think more chipmunk than over gyrating every single word and language. Not everything is that important. Do you know what I'm saying? There are certain things. If everything's important, then nothing's important. Right. So you have to be careful of that. I wrote criminal element. So there's a tremendous criminal element in this, which makes it fun. There's a dark comedy element to this. So I want you to imagine that you're an elf in the cartel. You're in the elf cartel. Okay. And your point is to help people, like, whatever, shoot people, like get rid of their relatives, like get them drunk, do anything you need to do to make the holidays fun and bearable. Oh, and shop at Target, right? So I would hold on to that. And you guys, you have to remember the jargon of I can't with them, I can't, or I've just come on in and kick it. I would make commentary on that. Okay. Unless you're totally throwing it away. It's hilarious that we're using, Gen Z language, young kid language, or we're using like, again, I go back to Chevy Chase because he was the master of this. He was the quintessential white guy, Caucasian, martini in the hand, golf club in the other hand, well-to-do guy. that it was calling attention that if he used language or if he did something that was out of character, you knew it was out of character. He was making commentary that people in his set didn't do that. You know what I'm saying? So when you use that language, be more intentional about that language, right? Come on, kids, let's kick it. It's stupid. No one, someone like him would never say that, but you know what I mean? So add some of those notes in there and see how it shifts for you. See how it transitions for you a little bit.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. And
True
use
fa-
speed.
Go ahead.
I was going to say use speed. Speed is good. Speed is on
Okay.
your side.
Yeah, I think I was a little nervous, so I kind of got going up
That's
there.
okay because we
That's
start to
okay.
overthink things when we're
Yeah.
nervous. So just let it
Yeah.
go. But
Okay.
you're the leader of the elves.
Okay. The holiday season has arrived, and Target is here to save the day for each and every family member in need of some festive home decor, last-minute presents, or even a mouth-watering roast. We've got your
Well,
back.
can you go back, Mel? Because you're so
Yeah.
physical. I love how you're physical. I want you to play the evil guy. The evil guy. For me, it's one of my
Evil elf.
favorite. I love this evil guy. It's Kevin, Mr. Wonderful from Shark Tank. He comes from where I live, Boston. And every time he has an idea, it's like, ooh, that sounds like we can make a lot of money. I like that. So it goes in. It's not boom out at you. It goes in.
I'm going
Right.
to tell you also, make sure you billboard Target a little bit more. I mean,
Okay.
don't rush past that.
All right. I will give it a whirl. The holiday season has arrived, and Target is here to save the day for each and every family member in need of some festive home decor, last-minute presents, or even a mouth-watering roast. We've got your back. And hey, when the extended family comes over,
Do that again.
Target's...
Do that again, Mel, exactly. But I want you to
Mhm.
speed it up 3 times.
And hey, when the extended family comes over, Target's got what you need most. A big, spacious parking lot you can just come sit in for a spell. With over 300 beautiful spots as far as the eye can see, it's the perfect place to stare out and bang your head on the steering wheel or text a friend. I honestly can't with them today. Looking to drain the hours? Head on in. Stroll down the clothing aisles or make yourself at home in our toy sections for a quick laydown. Here's a top tip. Check out the Play-Doh, crack open the blue one, and voila! A hidden flask just for you. Bottoms up, my friend. You've earned it. So, this holiday season, tell the fam you're gonna go grab something from Target real quick. Come kick it, and then go home and tell them they didn't have it. No worries. Your secret's safe with us. Target, buy yourself some time.
Yeah, I love how you're not afraid to go there theatrically. I think getting actors to do that is really hard. It's easier to pull you back than to kind of propel you forward. So I really love how you do that. One little thing I thought of, Mel, that will help you technique wise, I think, as you find this, because you're turning into the witch from The Wizard of Oz, which is interesting. So if you listen to that actress who played the evil witch in The Wizard of Oz, right? Lines like, I'll get you, my pretty, and your little dog Toto too. How would she deliver that? How would she deliver that line?
I'll get you, my pretty, and your little dog, too.
Yeah.
Right.
Notice the speed.
You see the rate change. You see
Yep.
the rate change. It's not delivered the same, right? I'll get you, my pretty, and your little dog Toto too. You see, it's not the same. You can't treat every line and every thought the same, because even a witch is real and an elf is real. They're real. So they wouldn't speak in that way. They would vary it up based on their stakes and based on their tonal emotions. You got it going on, girlfriend. Now you just got to mix it up and let it go, because you're holding on to it now, which if you time that, it would be way too long for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Agreed. Thank you so much.
Hey, thanks, guys. You appreciate
Nice.
it.
Nice.
Awesome. All right. So now we've got coming up, I've got the short list for Target, and these people you're now going to read the Keebler. So first up is going to be James Newcomb. Now, just for those of you that are possibly maybe watching, I'll give you just the quick rundown on the specs for this one. As soon as I can find it, here we go. So gender open, age range 30 to 60. Voice characteristics: our elf is endearing and friendly and is slightly exaggerated for comedic effect. Must be able to express excitement and joy of eating cookies through voice modulation. And of course, we threw in some other stuff just to throw you off. Previous experience with voiceover work and characterization through voice in commercials and comedic spots is a plus. Language, obviously English native speaker or with a neutral accent. Special requirement: ability to make the character relatable, captivating, and entertaining through voice alone. And then at the bottom, it says sound effects: euphoric crunch and joyful munching. Now, some of you interpreted that we wanted you to create those effects, and some of you did not. And so, Laura, I didn't know if you wanted to mention anything, like what do you recommend for that? Is it something that you want to add those effects yourself? Any thoughts on that before we?
I don't mind it. I mean, honestly, and I really like these moments before that sort of put me in the scene. It's up to you ultimately whether you keep them in or you edit them out. But I really loved it. The thing that threw me off, and we'll point them out if they come up tonight, is if you do commit to making that sound effect, it would have to sound like that.
Yes,
there were one
I
or
agree.
two. I forgot the spec and I didn't know what it was. I literally could not make out what the sound effect was. So I think the definition of it is important.
So if you can't do the sound effect and it's not realistic, then you may not want to use it. And I think when you have things that are in parentheses and there's no specs that say that they want the sound, that's an optional thing. But yeah, I'm with you, Law. I like to hear, the pre-life and that sort of thing. And I think it's kind of fun, but not necessary. So you guys make that choice. All right, so we are here with James, and we're ready when you are.
All right. Do you want me to just pick one of the alt taglines, or do you want me to read all of those?
There's a good question, and that was actually an excellent question. So, Law, what do people do with alt taglines when they are auditioning? Oh, you just muted yourself.
Sorry. So, I was going back and forth in that when I saw both taglines. This is an educational opportunity. So for me, in a sense, there's no right or wrong here. It's really just about the interpretations of what we do. I would love to hear one of them. I got confused when I heard both back to back, and I thought the piece was being landed twice. Now I say, if you're going to put those into your auditions, I have to hear a differentiation between one
To the next.
bookmark or bookend to the next. It sounded like there were two endings back to back.
Or if they're in rapid succession, it's really tough. Do you know what I mean? Like I would say if you have something that's specifying alternate takes, usually I give it a beat in between each take. And I'll actually, because I assume if it's in the copy that they want to hear the alternate takes. And so make sure that they are alternate takes and that there's space in between them and that you're not just going from one to the next to the next. And, I would vary up obviously how they sound. If you can do that, that's my recommendation too. Good question. So yeah, James, when you're ready.
Oh, hey there. It's not just the big red guy who appreciates a good cookie during the holiday season. We Keebler elves love them too. especially the chocolate chip. Oh, wait, the white chocolate chunk too. Oh, and the oatmeal raisin. And then there's the white chocolate macadamia nut. And oh boy, the double brownie fudge cookies. Mm. You may look small, but don't let our size fool you. We've got quite the elfish appetites. Besides, you think only Santa wants. You think only Santa deserves a good cookie treat on Christmas? Keebler, every day's a holiday.
Okay, thank you. Awesome. So I'm going to start with that. I actually really enjoyed that in the beginning. I thought you were present, you were in the character, and I thought kind of when you hit it halfway through, you lost your character a little bit. And I think you stumbled a little bit, and a lot of times that could just be nerves, or it could just be like you kind of lost your place in the story. But I liked your voice a lot. I thought it fit this spot really well. And I thought that your character that you began with, make sure that you keep it consistent throughout. And again, like I said, you lost your character when you started with the you may look small, and then you kind of rushed it to the end. But I really enjoyed the front end of it all. Law?
I agree. I mean, I was listening to a cartoon. It had such an animation appeal to it, which I love. And I could see you sweating it out. Like you were sweating bullets with this whole thing. You were just dying at a certain point, which I thought was fun. I thought it was really hilarious. I think there were a couple places where there was a little too much air in between some of the thoughts that could be tightened up a little bit. And also, like, where are you the normal person, or the regular person, I should say, or where are you us is the question. Are there any lines in there that's not overly character, not overly animated, but kind of like how we're thinking?
Oh, you're asking me like who I was? What was my character in this?
Yeah. And yeah,
Oh, well, I think based on the copy, I imagine myself as one of the Keebler elves here.
right. I mean,
Yeah.
you're an elf, but you're still, so here's the interesting thing. And you're a character guy and you do character really, really well. But the fascinating thing is with to me, character and animation is just real people or real entities of some kind, because they have all the same thought process and feeling and high stakes and everything that a living human being has. So if you say, well, I'm an elf, I'd say, well, great, but who are you? Who are you? You just described like saying, well, I'm a little person. Yeah, you just described like thousands and thousands of people.
What's your backstory?
Who is that, right?
Are you a frustrated elf? You know what I mean? Are you a happy elf? I think that
It's
will,
smart.
and yeah, and if you determine that, prior to that, and that if you do enough character work, right? The same thing for this commercial, but you're also that real person, that real elf, so to speak. I'd love to hear it again.
Okay. Oh, hey there. You know, it's not just the big red guy who appreciates a good cookie during the holiday season. We Keebler elves love them too, especially the chocolate chip. Oh, wait, the white chocolate chunk too. Oh, and the oatmeal raisin. But then there's the white chocolate macadamia nut. And oh boy, the double brownie fudge cookies. We may look small, but don't let our size fool you. We've got quite the elfish appetites. Besides, you think only Santa deserves a cookie treat on Christmas? Keebler, every day's a holiday.
Yeah, I mean,
I enjoyed that.
It's such a natural read
Yep.
for you. It's so fun for you. If I were to be like super critical, James, I would say you lost a little bit the word love. That trademarked word of love. I forget exactly where it is, but it's that word that is so accentuated. So the whole thing is about love. It's like a Subaru. It's all about love. It's like Cheerios. It's love. That's what the whole thing is about. It's about love, right? And what's interesting about that, you guys, is that especially with food items, is like we're selling on pathos. We're selling on pathos and the emotional, visceral connection that we have with food, especially food like cookies. So, right. So when you're saying you love, that's why the word love is so important. What are you really saying? Like, what are you really selling there? What are you selling?
We're selling love.
Yeah. And what does that mean to you though?
I've never thought about that in terms of cookies.
I know, right? Because cookies
You
are
put
love.
love in your cookies.
Yeah, if you have kids or you have grandkids, you're going to meet them in the middle of the night. They're going to be sobbing their eyes out because they were bullied in school. You're going to give them Oreo cookies or chocolate chip cookies with milk and make it okay. Because that's love. That's culturally what we've been trained to think of as love, right? That love, that self-love of eating, overeating, eating bad foods, all that stuff is love to us, right? And in terms of being an actor, looking at that, I don't make judgment about it. I just say it's love. I can see how the interpretation is about love. So you're really selling love. You're not just selling a cookie, and you're also selling, you guys talk about heady, right? Talk about getting psychological on this shit. You're selling acceptance because you're an elf. Elves are green, they're short, they're not part of our society. Who else are elves? The Lilliputians, the guys from Willy Wonka's factory, the guys from Wizard of Oz, right? None of them are acceptable. Not in our society. We laugh at them. They're laughing stocks. So you're saying I'm actually accepting, I'm accepted, I'm in the gang, I got the cookie, I love it, it's amazing, I'm someone. I know it sounds
And that
ridiculous.
cookie
That's
and
what
that,
it is.
yeah, and that cookie that you're offering, right? The listener, that is love. And so
Love.
therefore that's how you are accepted. And I was just going to tack on, I love that law. I love that interpretation of it. I also was going to say between the different types of cookies, right? And I felt the excitement building, like, oh, this and then that. I would have liked to hear maybe even some more differentiation, as if you're like, oh, you just saw this cookie and you picked it up and you ate it and you're like, oh, how could I forget about? So it would have given you a little bit more texture, a little bit more difference between, like, it wasn't just a straight buildup of, oh, and this, and then this, and then this. You could have given it just a little diversity. But
I
otherwise,
agree.
I love the read. I love the
Talk
read.
about deep
So it was
though, right,
great.
James? I mean, this is
Yeah.
deep. You thought it was about a cookie. But I mean,
I'm never going to look at cookies the same way.
I know, but this is not for the Keebler read. This is for every read you ever do
Yeah.
ever again. It's really the depth of deep diving into your work, into your points of view, and into your backgrounds and backstories. Because when we look at an elf, it's a prolific character. And when we think of them as allegories, because they're always allegorical, it's never about the seven dwarves, it's about the morality tale that they tell Snow White. That's what it's about. And what is it about? What do elves actually do? What do they do, you guys? They work their asses off in a factory making gifts for wealthy kids. That's what they do. And then they're like thrown out in the snow until next year. What does that remind you of? Right? So they're always allegorical in nature. So he gets to come out of the factory line for a moment and enjoy something that means something to him. Sounds silly, right? But apply that, because it's a real concept that someone wrote in there for that prototype. That's a prototype character.
I love it. Thank you, Law.
Thank you. Beautiful.
All right. Yes. Thank you,
Thanks, guys.
James. All right. Up next, Carl Jakey. Mr. Carl.
I have to put my cat down on the floor, not like down, like, you know what I mean?
Like, this is a sad moment for you, Carl.
I know. I was just gonna say, how can I be cheerful? Okay, I'll give it a shot. Oh, hey there. Oh, it's not just the big red guy who appreciates a good cookie during the holiday season. We Keebler elves love them. Oh, we love them too. Yeah, especially the chocolate chip. No, wait. The white chocolate chunk too. Oh, no. The oatmeal raisin. Oh, but then there's the white chocolate macadamia nut. And oh boy, the double brownie fudge cookies or the double brownie fudge cookies. Oh, you get so excited. We might look small, but we don't let our size fool you. We got quite the elfish appetites. Besides, you think only Santa deserves a cookie treat on Christmas? Keebler, every day is a holiday.
Carl, I love it. Thank you. I'll just start off by saying, Carl, first of all, I I love your excitement. And the only thing is that I thought it was a little fast throughout. You have the best excitement though. And so let's just again, I think when Law and I were talking about let's kind of like do a fast slow kind of thing. Like give me some variation on that. And of course, I think because you were a little fast, it made you stumble, right? A couple of times. So you can take a little bit more time when you're thinking about the cookies but I do love the fact you can be excited and you can show your excitement without necessarily talking fast, right?
Right.
So there's all different levels of the excitement, but I think that I want to feel, I want to feel like you're small. I mean, physically, I know you're very tall, but I want to feel like you're an elf and that you're small. And I'm not saying you need to sound small. I just want to feel the smallness. So I think if you really envelop that character a little bit more, and a lot of times when you think it, like it will help you, it will manifest in your voice, right? If you're thinking like I'm a small elf. So I felt like maybe you weren't a small elf, but you were like the human, right? The human size elf that didn't quite fit into the tree there. And so it made you nervous. You know what I mean? Like so I'd love to hear a little bit more of the small elf coming out. Law, thoughts?
It's a great image. I love that image. That's really fun. Like get small, get small. I was thinking get either more high or nasal or tighter sounding. I'd love to hear that. But if you do go with this lower sound, Carl, I think that the breathlessness is distracting to me a little bit. So keep your high energy, keep your verve, because you've got a lot of verve going on, but lose some of the breathiness that we're hearing and fill up your diaphragm so that you don't have to feel like I'm hearing that your breath is moving up. It's becoming really like clavicular. It's up in your fight or flight zone. So I think that's a little bit distracting. So just move the breath. And I like that getting small. I think that's fun. And be careful of slurring. There's some articulation issues on chocolate and words like that.
Yeah.
Really those sounds, open your mouth, so you can hit those sounds, right?
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay,
let's hear it again.
Okay. Oh, hey there. Oh, it's not just the big guy who appreciates a good cookie during the holiday season. We Keebler elves love them. Oh, yes, indeed. Oh, sorry, I messed up. We Keebler elves love them too, especially the chocolate chip. Oh, wait, the white chocolate chunk too. Oh, no, the oatmeal raisin. Oh, and then there's the white chocolate macadamia nut. And boy, oh boy, oh boy, the double brownie French cookies. We might look small, but we don't let our size fool you. No, we got quite the elfish appetites. Besides, you think only Santa deserves a cookie treat on Christmas? Keebler, every day is a holiday.
Carl, I like that a lot better. Absolutely.
I was thinking small and holding my
Yes,
hands in
and
here.
and it made a difference. It really did make a difference. And I liked when you got so excited you almost couldn't talk there in the last one. And it was like you had a mouthful. So I like that. Just be careful when that happens that, you still get the word out so we can hear what you're saying. But
Right.
I did like that variation that you gave us there. Really so much better. And again, just a little bit of the stumbles. I wouldn't worry about that. You don't have to apologize. Like never apologize. We're human. And as casting directors, we understand, it happens. It happens to the best of us. And so just, stop and pick it up again and, you'll be fine. But yeah, I really enjoyed that. Law?
I did too. I love, Carly, you have something that's very vulnerable about you. It's very, very sweet. It's sad and sweet and funny. It's like the cookie. I mean, it causes one empathy in a very deep way. I mean, that's what I'm hearing and that's what I'm feeling about
I
you.
like that, Law.
Some of the stuff we're talking about is just technical, really technical things to work on. And one of the things I would strongly suggest, which I suggest to any kind of actor, as well as the age-old exercise, just don't choke. We don't want you getting the life back. But, eat a cookie or have something as a prop that you're really, if you can, unless you're diabetic, then have an apple. But I mean, eat it for two reasons. Number one, it's going to remind you what you're talking about. Okay. And number two, it's going to help you with articulation, believe it or not, because one of the ancient Greek exercises for actors and speakers was to fill the mouth with,
Stones.
marbles or
Mhm.
stones.
Yeah, stones.
Whatever
Yeah.
they did. Now, you don't want to do that. You don't want to choke. But I'm just saying it helps actors understand how do I open my mouth? How do I stretch it out? How do I articulate it and speak over the obstruction? And then take it out of your mouth, and everything's going to come a little bit easier for you in terms of the speech. It'll slow you down where you need to be slowed down because you have a lot of energy. No problem with Carl's energy. You're moving like a speeding train. And that's why you're stumbling and stammering. It's really just your brain is going so fast, right? So always give yourself an action. Use a prop if you need to. You might even get a great take. And you might get there and say, wow, I kind of like hearing something in my mouth for one take. That's interesting. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
don't be afraid to experiment a little, especially when it comes to food, drink, easy things, can of Coke or whatever it is, easy things that you can experience as you work.
Yeah, I wasn't sure because when you were talking earlier about it, to say like, oh, hey there, like have something like you had something in your mouth.
Yeah,
'Cause
like
when-
literally you were caught in a cookie jar. You should be
Yeah.
working right now. You
Mhm.
should be packing gifts. Why are you eating cookies? Like it's like a kid, you know what I mean? Like you got caught in the oh, hey there. Right? So that's
Right,
what
right.
I take for you. Like you got some crumbs on your cheek. You know what I mean? So
Well,
just
that's why I wasn't sure. I was going to do it that way, but then when you guys were talking about it at the beginning, I was like, oh, I guess they don't want you to do
No,
that
that's a
sound
choice.
effect.
That's a choice. I think that, if you can do it and you can do it realistically and it's not going to confuse us, absolutely do it because we're typically just listening to you. But I do want to say, Law, I love that you picked up on and you said, there's a vulnerability about Carl. Now, I happen to know Carl personally, right? And I feel like, it's so important for us as actors to really allow ourselves to come to the copy and to really be vulnerable with it. And if you can, if that can be a portion of, what's coming out into your voice, I mean, that's a beautiful thing. It really is. And we all really just need to bring ourselves and and who we are to that copy, no matter what character we're playing. I mean, it does make a huge, huge difference. And the fact that Law felt the vulnerability in that's huge. Like as a casting director, I'd be
Yeah.
like, whoa. Yeah, you know what? There's something about, and you could have stumbled, and I'd be like, there's something about that voice that makes me just my heart, and that is what we connect to.
That's
Really.
what we connect to, and you have something in there. A few of you have this, I mean, as
Mhm.
well.
Yeah.
But you have it strongly. There's an affliction. There's some
Mhm.
affliction, whether it's a stammer or a stutter or a whatever it is, that characters are built. They're drawn that way so that I, as the audience, can empathize. And
Yep.
who would really be listening to this? I love cookies. I'll eat cookies. But kids,
Yeah.
kids who are going through hell most of the time. For a million reasons, they're going through hell. And what makes them happy is just a friggin' cookie. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like a big kid. You're acting like a big kid in a lot of ways. So I love your instant show of openness and vulnerability and sadness too.
Yeah.
Like things aren't going so well for you. I guess I'll just have a cookie. You know what I mean? So hold on to that. Always hold on to that. You show strength by showing vulnerability.
Yeah, yeah. Lovely. Thank you, Law,
Thank you.
for saying that because it just makes me I want to bring that out in everyone, right? Everyone needs to be able to show that. So fantastic. Thank you. All right, next up, Suzanne. Suzanne Malik.
Hello.
Hi, Suzanne. We are ready when you are.
Well, thank you very much. Oh, hey there. It's not just the big red guy who appreciates a good cookie during the holiday season. We Keebler elves love them too, especially the chocolate chip. Oh, wait, the white chocolate chunk too. Oh, and the oatmeal raisin, but then there's a white chocolate macadamia nut, and oh boy, the double brownie fudge cookies. We may look small, but don't let our size fool you. We've got quite the elfish appetites. Besides, you think only Santa deserves a cookie treat on Christmas? Keebler, every day's a holiday.
Thank you, Suzanne. I'm going to tell you that when I really started to love it, was when we don't let our size fool you. I felt like you really enveloped the character by then, or you kind of evolved into it. Your oh boy, I felt was a little like oh boy is like one of those like exclamations, right? And I feel like we can really let go our emotions on something like that because it's like that, it's like an aside, or it's like that, you know, oh my God, oh boy. So you don't have to you don't have to sound like formal or, you know, clear necessarily, or, you know, you can really like put a lot of texture into your voice and have a lot of personality to it. So I would have liked a little more in the beginning where you had a more formed character for that. I mean, you had a cute voice, but I didn't feel like you were enveloping the character. But really cute. Once you got to Don't Let Our Size Fool You, I really enjoyed that character because you got really cute. I felt like you were really in the moment there, and really like telling that story and talking to me. So, Law.
Yeah, I second most of that. I think, you know, I was falling in love with your character and your sweetness. You have a real sweetness about you and your delivery, which I love. I'm on the fence about the lisp and the slurring sound because I feel like where you could get away with that in a feature film, it's hard to get away with that in a commercial. It's much, much harder because you only have a 30-second bite of time. And if we don't completely 100% understand every single word you're saying, it's tough. It just takes our focus away. So I'd say dial that back a little bit, pull that back, lift the pace, lift the speed a little more. And I would love you to try to do something more. Keep this character, don't change the character. But I mean, try to manifest someone like, did you ever watch The Office?
I did.
Okay, Pam.
Okay.
They are the quintessential standard layman, average loser woman. That's the prototype.
Mhm.
That's the prototype, like
Mhm.
the everyman, the everywoman. That's who Pam is. You know, striving, being knocked down, striving, being knocked down, striving, being knocked down. Okay.
Okay.
So a little bit more quiet, a little bit more monotone, same quality, same character, but a little bit more reserved.
Thank you. Oh, hey there. Oh, you know, it's not just the big red guy who appreciates a good cookie during the holiday season. We Keebler elves love them too, especially the chocolate chip. Oh, wait, the white chocolate chunk too. Oh, and the oatmeal raisin. But then there's the white chocolate macadamia nut. And oh boy, the double brownie fudge cookies. You might look small, but don't let our size fool you. We've got quite the elfish appetites. Besides, you think only Santa deserves a cookie treat on Christmas? Keebler, every day is a holiday.
I'm going to come in and tell you that, yeah, I like that. I did like that. I thought you were a little bit, I thought you dropped a little bit of the energy, even though, because we told you to be, right, a little more mono, a little more, right, quieter. But again, towards the end, you picked up that energy. And I loved your tags both times. Both times I loved your tags at the very end. And I typically am super critical about tags. So yeah, no, I really like the way you executed that. So yeah, just I would say you lost a little bit of energy there in the top half of it there. Again, you came back in the second half of it. I thought that was great. Law?
Yeah, yeah, I agree with that. You'll keep the energy and pull out the air in between the thoughts, so you don't have to stop and have air in between each thought. I also thought too there was a privacy to this, which I really loved. Like I went into the little back room in the office and I said, "Oh, whoa, sorry. Is my break over?" Right? So there was that sense of officiness to it, which I really like that interpretation for you. So I think you can marry those two
Yeah.
interpretations and
Yeah.
create the
It's a
quintessential
good
Suzanne,
character.
character.
Yeah.
That is you in every sitcom and
Yeah.
you in every show and you, right?
Yeah,
Thank
work
you.
on that. I would say continue. It's a good character for you.
It's a good character.
Absolutely.
You don't
Absolutely.
need too much of the slur and lisp.
Yeah.
I
Mhm.
think if you choose one moment where
Yes.
it lets go, you know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
there's a stutter or stammer or whatever, and then you make commentary like, oh, sorry, you know what I mean? Then we get it. We don't need any more of it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Suzanne. All right. Next up, we have Carrie. It's Carrie Souter. Although
there.
your audition said Craig. So
Oh, I changed it in my Dropbox and it didn't transfer over.
Okay. All
So I
right.
did change it.
But I had a feeling it was you. Okay. So yeah.
Yes.
So you are next.
Okay.
When you're ready.
Oh, hey there. You know, it's not just the big red guy who appreciates a good cookie during the holiday season. We Keebler elves love them too, especially the chocolate chip. Oh, wait, the white chocolate chunk too. Oh, and the oatmeal raisin. But then there's this white chocolate macadamia nut, and oh boy, the double fudge brownie cookies. We might look small, but don't let our size fool you. We've got quite the elfish appetites. Besides, you think Santa deserves a cookie treat on Christmas? Besides, you think only Santa deserves a cookie treat on Christmas? Keebler, every day is a holiday.
I love the tagline. That was great. So I would say, Carrie, for this, I would want um, a little more of a buildup. I felt like your energy was a little bit low in the beginning, and I would like to get it more built up when you're experiencing the cookies and you're like trying to make that decision as to which one, because they're all wonderful, right? They're all awesome. But yeah, I thought it was just a little bit on the I wanted more energy. I definitely wanted some more energy, a little bit more of you in the story and in the scene. So really concentrate on where are you? Are you in the tree? You know what I mean? Like I feel like you're in the tree, like with the cookies, and I'm just imagining those commercials, right? And you're like, and you've got like cookies everywhere, and so it just again, I feel like, and you're just super excited about them because they're hot, they're right out of the oven, and you're getting ready to share them with us, and you cannot contain yourself. Law.
Yes, agreed on everything. You're the quintessential, like mom sound, where everything's good with the cookies, making and baking. And, that's the sound and feeling that I'm getting, with your sound, which is cool. You also reminded me too, in every great claymation that they had out there during Christmas, they had your voice in there as the mother, the grandmother, the wife of Santa. You are the voice of reason. You're the voice of reason, and femininity as well, which I really love. I do agree that the energy was a little low compared to your original audition. So I think that there should be a little bit more energy and more exuberance in there too. Like is it cool for you? Is it interesting for you? I don't know. Is it?
I mean, I love cookies, so
Yeah, I think that needs to come through more. That
Okay.
you really love cookies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That kind of drives you off the edge a little bit. You get a little nuts when you eat cookies and talk about cookies. And I think that that's gonna like infuse the energy that we need in this. I'd love to hear, can I just hear the first, couple lines and see how that feels?
Oh, hey there. You know, it's not just the big red guy who appreciates a good cookie during the holiday season. We Keebler elves love them too, especially the chocolate chip. Oh, wait, the white chocolate chunk too, and the oatmeal raisin. But then there's the white chocolate macadamia nut, and oh boy, the double fudge brownie cookies. We might look small, but don't let our size fool you. We've got quite the elfish appetites. Besides, you think only Santa deserves a cookie treat on Christmas? Keebler, every day is a holiday.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, I love that.
Yep.
That's a role in every single Pixar movie out there.
Yep. I like that. It'd be interesting. Karen, can you age it up a little bit? I mean, could you be like not just a young mom? Can you be an older mom or almost like a grandmom? I'm just curious. Just for the heck of it, because I feel like you could pull that off too. And I'm not, if you're not a character, you know what I mean? But I really feel like you could pull off that as well. I don't know. What do you think?
I
Try a
can
couple
try it.
lines? Yeah, try a couple lines.
Oh, hey there. You know, it's not just the big red guy who appreciates a good cookie during the holiday season. We Keebler elves love them too, especially the chocolate chip. Oh, wait, the white chocolate chunk too. Oh, the oatmeal raisin. But then there's the white chocolate macadamia nut and, oh boy, the double fudge brownie cookies. We might look small, but don't let our size fool you. We've got quite the elfish appetites. Besides, you think only Santa deserves a cookie treat on Christmas? Keebler, every day is a holiday.
You were like a sassy grandma. But actually, I felt like you could have been more feeble.
More.
Yeah, but I got
yeah.
that. You know what I mean? But yeah.
Yeah, I was
sorry.
getting like, you turned into the AARP non-binary. You know what I mean? Like, come on over, I'm gonna try it out with you.
Hey, you think Santa?
just
Yeah,
love
you
this
think
without
Santa's the
you.
only one?
I realized that
funny
when I
too.
started, and then I just had to kind of go with that.
Yeah, that's okay. That's
think it's
it's
great.
okay. I mean, look,
hey.
it's all about play, and it's all about, you know what I mean. I really, I mean, I hear I hear potential in that. So I would say have fun and
yeah.
work on that. But yeah, nicely done.
So fun.
Thank you. That was really fun.
Yeah. All right, we've got just one more, and that is Eric Gittleman.
Well, lucky me. I don't know if you saw the chat. I had to leave for an hour.
Yeah, and you're back, thankfully.
I am, yeah. Yes. Oh man.
So we're ready.
Very
When you
interesting.
are.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. You're right. Here we go. Hopefully you all can hear me. I'm on a new setup. So
I'm hearing you.
okay. Oh, hey there. You know, it's not just a big red guy who appreciates a good cookie during the holiday season. We Keebler elves love them too, especially the chocolate chip. Oh, wait, the white chocolate chunk too. Oh, and the oatmeal raisin. But then there's the white chocolate macadamia nut. And oh boy, the double brownie fudge cookies. You know, we might look small, but don't let our size fool you. We've got quite the elfish appetites. Besides, you think only Santa deserves a cookie treat on Christmas? Keebler, every day is a holiday.
So you were cutting in and out there. I wasn't sure if that was just me that didn't quite hear some of it, but your connection was cutting in and out.
I heard that too, Anne. I
Yeah,
heard that.
yeah. So we're gonna have you do it again, but I'm gonna say that I didn't hear you small enough. And what's funny is you have such a cool, like, wry sort of like, hey, you know what I mean? You could do a really funny elf, like it could be a personality like, you know, that kind of like really kind of almost sarcastic, wry sort of, and you could play that up a whole lot. And I think that would help in terms of your character development. So yeah, I wanted to hear it a little bit smaller, and you know, before you even start, I would say get yourself in that mindset. And if there's anything like, you know, a phrase that you can say to help you get there, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. And in terms of like this audition, I would even encourage, right? If there's any phrase like catchphrase you can say that will get you into the character, you know, go ahead and do that, because I mean, honestly, when we're in I know this is a live session, but you will be absolutely seen professionally if you're doing that. If you're just getting yourself into the character by just giving a lead in or that, you know, kind of pre-life sort of thing, I don't think anybody would question it or even, you know, think, you know, differently about that. Law, your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think for me, the first half just technically was going in and out. So I couldn't hear some of the lines for like the first 5 or 6 lines kind of thing. So I definitely would love to go back and hear it again, and especially hear the beginning again. I think you have the perfect delivery, Eric, for this read, for this kind of read. I think this delivery is made for you. I think you're the
Sure.
intellectual.
Thank you. By the way, I do apologize. I missed a good chunk of what you had earlier. I got kicked out of Zoom again.
Oh,
Yeah, and that happens.
And I don't know if it's
maybe your
probably
connection is a little iffy today, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I'd like
yeah,
to
it could be
see
that.
you.
I have an idea.
Yeah, Eric, I'd like to see you move towards like a Woody Allen kind of,
Yes.
like the
Absolutely.
neurotic, the analytical,
yes.
the slightly ethnic or
Yep.
very ethnic, because that you're leaning in that direction, you know?
Yep, absolutely.
All right. Uh, um, okay. You're frozen now. Yeah, it's probably my connection. And but I definitely heard what you got. Hopefully you can hear me.
Yeah.
Hopefully we're not gone. Okay. Hmm. Hmm. Oh, hey there. You know, it's not just a big red guy who appreciates a good cookie during the holiday season. We Keebler elves love them too, especially the chocolate chip. Oh, wait, the white chocolate chunk too. Oh, and the oatmeal raisin. But then there's the white chocolate macadamia nut. And oh boy, the double fr- and oh boy, the double brownie fudge cookies. You know, we might look small, but don't let our size fool you. We've got quite the elfish appetites. Besides, you think only Santa deserves a cookie treat on Christmas? Keebler, every day is a holiday.
All right. I'm going to say that I heard it in the beginning and you kind of lost it halfway through, you know, the Woody-esque kind of read, but I was loving it. And I want to be like a little more nervous. Like you're like, oh, maybe, you know what I mean? I just feel like it could kind of go that route. But I really liked where you started with that. And I would say definitely I would work on that character because I think that's like it's a great character for you. Absolutely. Law.
It's a total natural for
Yeah.
you, Eric. I think you're
Yeah.
dropping out of it though. And when you drop out, well, I know you're technically like your focus is elsewhere technically right now, but I think that you're falling into a little bit more announcer than I'd like you to fall into to stay a little bit more charactery with this guy that he's in his own hell, a private Idaho or whatever you want to call it. He's in his
This
head.
is
Like I'm
cookie hell.
hearing his head. What's in his head?
He can't figure out which cookie. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's neurotic about it. He's like, oh, all right, maybe it's, you know, oh my God, maybe it's this.
He's
It's like,
indecisive. He
yeah.
can't make a decision. He
Yeah,
can't.
exactly.
Yeah. Can you try it at the beginning just for us, just the first couple lines? And I want to catch you right in the middle of being in hell.
Oh, hey there. You know, it's not just a big red guy who appreciates a good cookie during the holiday season. We Keebler elves love them too, especially the chocolate chip. Oh, wait, the white chocolate chunk too. Oh, and the oatmeal raisin. But then there's the white chocolate macadamia nut. And oh boy, the double brownie fudge cookies. You know, we might look small, but don't let our size fool you. We've got quite the elfish appetites.
Yeah, so for my money, Eric, I'd rather you go up than down. I feel like you're stopping at the end of each thought in your build and not letting it go to the place of where's the pop? Where's the climactic moment there in that build? Maybe this, maybe that. No, maybe this. No, maybe that. No, maybe this. What's the build? What's the top of it?
Okay, so start at the beginning again.
No, what's the top of that build?
Sorry, I missed that part.
No, don't apologize. I just want you to connect the dots with that. You're going nuts. Like you've got 5 cookies in your mouth right now. What's the top of that? What's your apex of that build? You got this, you got that, you got this, you got that, and then what do you say?
Oh my God, this is amazing!
Is that the top of it?
Among other things. So yeah, so
this is amazing, right? It's like you're in heaven. So I think the funny comes with the fact that you're in the best hell you've ever been in. You know, like you can't decide. You've got it all at your fingertips. You know what I mean? Yes? Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yes, I got it.
That's the scene in every single, like quintessential allegorical movie we love. That's a scene like, what's the kid's name in Willy Wonka, where he's in the scene, he runs from this and then he goes that and he stuffs the thing in his mouth and he runs to this and he drinks this and you know the kid?
I don't recall the character's name, but I am somewhat familiar with that.
Yes.
He's a glutton. He's getting everything right, and he can't decide. He's taking everything.
Augustus. Is that his name?
Augustus, don't do this, right? And he's taking,
and then he chews the gum and he blows up.
I mean, that's funny stuff. That's funny stuff.
Yeah.
So that's what it's reminding me of. That kind of like fun, neurotic-y build to the climactic moment. You're good at that.
Yes,
That's what
I agree. Work on that. I think that's a great character for you. a great character for you to channel
Great
in a lot of different things. And it doesn't just have to be comedic either, though. You know what I mean? Like although that's where I think it really fares the best. But fantastic. Thank you, everyone. Okay, so Law and I have to kind of mute ourselves now and
Okay.
and call each other so that we can make a decision here on who are
This is a toughie, Annie.
who
This
are
is a
I
real tough
know
one.
who our
This is
winners.
a hard
So,
one.
yeah, you guys were all great. So Law, mute yourself and I'm gonna be calling you. There we go.
I'm going to take you outside, Barnum.
Good job, by the way, to everybody who went. It's kind of scary hopping up and doing it. It's nice that there's only this. It kind of looks like a workshop. Who knows how many people are on
Yeah.
YouTube? I have no idea.
I've done a few of these before. By the way, I don't. How was I fuzzy at all? Because again, this, as I said, this is a new setup. I got a new device I'm trying to check out, and
It's hard to evaluate. It's Zoom after all. I mean, Zoom
No,
is
I know,
crap.
but
Is crap.
You do
You
cut in
had
and
cut
out.
out. You had the cutouts. That was the problem.
well, yeah, no, and it is Wi-Fi, and unfortunately,
oh,
I
no,
can't
no, no.
exactly, unfortunately, I
Yeah.
can't exactly. I mean, I have an Ethernet cable, but I can't exactly run it all the way down and have that work, all the time. But no, what I'm saying is that I don't know. I mean, in terms of the clarity of my voice, because the way I
Oh,
had
it sounds
it.
clear.
Okay.
Yeah, it's clear.
you sound great.
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
sounds
you have a certain timbre. It's not, it's not
Right.
a teenager's voice. So
No,
yeah,
well, no, I know. Well,
that's
no,
fine.
He's like,
I
thank
haven't
God.
been a teenager in a long time.
It's very distinctive.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I haven't been a teenager in a long time. So, very, very long time. No. No, what I mean is that I haven't heard myself this kind of, to this extent on other devices and other setups. So I thought maybe there was something that I did wrong. But anyway.
What did you change? What's the new equipment?
Well, I got one of those new Mac Minis.
Hey, there you go.
Oh, okay.
That's a step in the right direction.
Well, yes and no. So I mean, I got that, and then of course, I'm on a different monitor, but it has the same RAM and storage as the 3 years ago MacBook Pro, which is a different chip.
Yeah.
Still have the MacBook Pro, but I didn't sound like this on the MacBook Pro, so I can't figure it out.
It sounds good to me.
Well, I appreciate
Except for
it.
when you cut out, that's the only thing.
Well, no,
That's
yeah.
That's a technical
that's
thing,
right,
but your
yeah.
voice
Right.
sounds perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, no, so my setup is, as I said, it's far from ideal. That's why I'm using this headset thing, because I'm trying to, figure out how to, avoid having to deal with a lot of stuff that I can't deal with in a rental property. Like, oh yeah, I just put some sound panels up. No, not quite. Then I have to take them off, and then they're holes.
Well,
But
it's not bad though. I've got these sound blankets, and they're up on basically one of those T stands that you see like at weddings and bar mitzvahs that they do photography at, and I've got 3 of them.
Yeah.
Actually, I've got so that does actually a fairly good job. Although during my recorded session yesterday, the sound from my wife's office kind of bled through a little bit, but in general, it's pretty good. On a budget.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
the
and
film
also
craft,
taking it as-
blankets are only about $45 a piece, and the stands are about 30 to 40 also each. So
Yeah.
not that bad.
And I hear about it. And also, hello out there to everybody who's still watching.
I can hear him.
Yeah, I certainly hope that this discussion is worthwhile to all of you spectators.
They're loving
So
it. Man.
I got the Kayatica bulb or whatever it's called, and this thing
Appar-
works really good.
Oh yeah.
Well,
You guys-
I have heard that. Oh, they're back. Sorry.
Oh, so that's okay. I'm sorry. I don't want to stop the discussion, but you guys can continue that afterwards unless you don't want to hear the winner right away.
Okay.
We could let you. We're
Well,
so
hold on.
excited, you guys. We are so good. First of all, I am just going to say you all just did so amazing, and we appreciate you guys so much for doing this. And it takes a lot of courage to be able to, to do this live, in front of everyone else. And we've really kind of we weren't necessarily prepared for what we were going to ask you to do. and you didn't know what script we were going to ask you to do. So really, I think all of you, and you have so many great characters in here that I think we're able to really, land the funny and really have some amazing potential in not just character work, but in, commercial work that's calling for a specific character or a real person, whatever that might be. Law, your comments before we announce.
I totally second that, Annie. And it's hard, you guys, because we're like the pre-kindergarten mamas where we really do want to give everyone a trophy.
I do. Yeah.
See such amazing work in every single person going from A to B, B to C. But we want to also give you some reality checks about the fact that, people get the job and we don't all the time. We don't. So there's that balance of education, but also real world stuff in there too. So we appreciate all of your work though.
Absolutely. Sure. And understand you're going to get feedback on your original. And this also counts. We're also taking into consideration your original auditions as well. That does count when you are being cast for something. It's not necessarily just the live read, but there's a lot of things that we remember from your original audition. We're like, oh, I really liked this. And I really like this person. And I hope that, they come up with a new copy and they are able to execute as well. So know that both your audition copy that you'll be getting written feedback on, which by the way, that will happen by tomorrow within 24 hours. Okay. You should be getting an email with that feedback, whether you were shortlisted or not, which is one of the value adds for this class is that you will be getting feedback on everything that you've done. Plus you get the benefit of, kind of listening to the direction and listening to others perform as well. So with that being said, I would like to announce, I announce the runner-up swag winners first, Law, and then the winner? Okay, let's do that.
Yeah,
so our runner-ups for the Audition Demolition Holiday Edition, which will get swag prizes are, drum roll please, the very first one will be Carl Jakey. Woohoo! Skipper Carl. Congratulations, Carl.
Go,
and our second swag winner, our second swag winner runner-up is going to be Carrie Souter. Yay, Carrie! And then we have the person that we have awarded the gig to, quote unquote, who will be our cash prize winner. Congratulations to, here we go, James Newcomb. Yay!
Oh, cool. James. Oh, yeah.
Congratulations. And really, congratulations to everyone.
Thanks, both.
Thank you.
So I'll be sending you some emails so that, you can provide me with any kind of information and you have some information for your swag codes and James will be sending you some information too. And all of you will be getting your feedback by tomorrow. And you guys, this was so much fun. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This
Have a happy holiday, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
Happy holidays, everybody.
Holidays.
And we'll be back probably in January or February with another Audition Demolition. So we hope you'll join us then. In the meantime, listen to the VO Boss podcast. Congratulations to us. We won. Law and I won for the VO Boss podcast, the outstanding podcast for Sovaz. And so we're very excited about that.
Wow. Congratulations.
So listen to VO Boss. Law and I, she's my steadfast guest co-host who, it's been over a year now, Law. So we are celebrating a wonderful partnership here together. And I love you. I love you, Law. And
I love you, Annie. And I love everyone in this room.
Yes.
I appreciate you being here with us.
Love you too.
So thank you so much.
Yes.
And keep speaking, submit.
You guys, so good. Yeah. And have a wonderful holiday season. And we hope to see you guys soon.
Are you going to take the picture?
Oh, we could. Let's take a family photo. Everybody take a family photo. We're going to be smiling pretty for the camera. Wait, my hat is just a little bit weird. Okay, there we go. Okay. There we go. All right. Ready? On the count of 3, 1, 2, and we'll do one more just for good luck. 1, 2, and happy holidays, everyone.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Bye-bye, you guys.
Awesome. Thank you.
So much.
Thank you.
Love you guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Here.
Congratulations. Good job, James.
Yeah, congratulations, everybody.
Good job, Carl. Good job,
Thank you.
Carrie.
Good job, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
It was a lot of fun, too.
Yeah, it was awesome. Thank you. Hi, Anne. Congratulations on the Silvas.
Oh, thank you, Tyler.
That's awesome. Yeah,
Yes,
and now you get to say
congratulations,
the
yeah.
award-winning
The award-winning podcast. We won last year too, so I'm very
So
excited.
cool.
Very
Double-
excited.
doubling
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Say hey to Jerry.
Bye.